participants. So in case, we would like to do some sort of interactions, and if somebody wants to ask any question in between, we shall be able to do so. I know the number of participants we are dealing here is, I think, more than 80, 85. So I would like to request that please do raise your hands using the hand raise button, and then I'll call out few names in case, whenever we'll be in the discussion and the Q&A mode. I hope that should be okay. Is my screen visible?
It's visible.
Okay, thank you. Great. Okay. So I'll just quickly talk about myself. Komal has already introduced, just take 1 or 2 minutes here. So I am a strategy and innovation expert and the coach in this field. I am certified from Harvard Business School in design thinking and innovation. And why I got into design thinking and innovation, because it's very close to my heart, especially in the last 10 years, while I have been working as a product specialist and incubating multiple products across various domains. Uh, this process of design thinking has really helped me to get into the shoes of my users, my customers, and bring out the products which were really helpful to them. So I come with 17 years of experience in market research, strategic consulting, user research, and product incubation. I started my journey with Monitor Consulting, Rail Research, and then I spent 10 years in Hitachi and NEC Corporation, which are Japanese companies. Then I started working with an AI company called Critical Solutions. And since here we have a lot of people representing from the academia domain, I'll briefly talk about the genesis of critical solutions, that how industry and academia can collaborate and bring out something useful into the market. So I'll take you through Critical's journey. And I also got opportunity to work with iKite's technologies. And after my stint with all the 5 companies, I thought to start my own venture, which is called Thinkers and Innovators Club 6 months back, wherein I'm coaching the entrepreneurs, academics, and product specialists so that they're able to venture into the customer journeys, identify the real problems in the market, and design solutions accordingly. So I've worked across multiple industries, healthcare, hospitality, smart cities, wherein I have incubated these products called Kriti Life, Face Express, My Eye. While I'll be discussing the design thinking framework and other case studies, I'll also briefly talk about these products and how I identified these areas and made a successful launch of these products. I have led strategic initiatives across the globe, worked across US and spent 10 years with Japan, Singapore. I've worked very extensively for the healthcare market, Ministry of Health, for Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and working from very long across Pan India. So that's a quick brief about myself. So just wanted to ask all of you, probably if you can put it in the chat box, or Kumar, can we unmute or maybe enable the mics for the participants, because I'll be going in some sort of a questionnaire mode.
Just ask the question. I will enable that participant.
Sorry.
I'm saying you just ask the question and I will label their mic once you ask the question.
Okay, so this is my question. So that's my question, which you can see on the screen. So today's session is about problem discovery. So before we get into the process of problem discovery, I first want to get the answer to this question. What really is the problem? When we say problem, what is the thought which comes into your mind? Maybe in a word or in a line. You can unmute yourself. I think mics are enabled now. Anyone?
Request participants to raise the hand. I will enable the mic for them.
Yes, ma'am, we can.
Komal, my screen is on share, so whosoever raises the hand, you can just call out the name and let them speak.
Ma'am,
So let's try to make the session interactive so that while we'll be interacting with each other, we'll be able to learn more and we'll be able to have more, takeaways from this session.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Hanji, the topic or the area where we would like to work upon, that might be the question or the problem which comes into our mindset.
Okay, topic your problem. So while you are identifying the topic, so you might have thought that there are certain frustrations in those areas. There are some unresolved issues which are pending, and it is kind of a pain point which has become for that particular situation, or people who are into that situation, or the users, potential users, who are going to be the consumers of the solution which will put on the table. I hope we all agree on that part.
Yes, yes.
Yes, great. Thank you. So, in my journey of design thinking and product incubation, and since we have a lot of people from industry academia, so before I jump on to my next slide, I would like to, set the stage for all of you while discussing about critical solutions. So, this is a company which originated in
Oh, wait,
2000.
my join.
Can you just unmute yourself, please? Thank you. So, Critical Solutions is a company which was originated in 2002 in the campus of IIT Delhi. So, this is an AI company which is started by 12 co-founders, which is very unique in itself. I request participants to please mute yourselves. You. So it's a company which got started in 2002 from IIT Delhi campus, and it was started by 12 co-founders. Out of the 12 co-founders, seven were students and five were the professors of IIT Delhi, various branches, and primarily from the computer science background. So they started this company in 2002, and they all came from the computer science and AI background, and they were working on traffic solutions related problem. So, and now it's been like 24 years, and this company is really running well, have built multiple creative solutions solving traffic problem. And they have a sister company called Vihan Technologies. You can go and research about these companies. They have been selling a solution which is used for baggage scanning and vehicle scanning. And they've been, dealing with government. They're selling the solutions to airports, to Parliament House, and also, across outside India as well. So just wanted to set the stage for you that, this is, design thinking process and the product creation process is not only for the people who are into business or corporate. So the role of academia here is now, since there is a lot of talk about entrepreneurship and innovation, inside the college premises, with BBA, BCA, MBA, MCA students. I hope a lot of research scholars and the academicians who are here you are dealing with these kind of departments, and there are business incubation units and institute innovation councils, which are being there in various colleges. So your role is very important, that you are very close to that strata of population, wherein you can work together with the students and bring out creative solutions, and then you can also be part of that business into the market. There's one more example. I work very closely with FITT, which is the incubation center of IIT Delhi, Foundation for Innovation and Technology Transfer. And there is one professor I work very closely, Professor Dr. Manan Suri. He has got one of his startup here, Siran AI Solutions. So we all have a role to play in that sense. And also, it will be helpful in your academic research as well, wherein you'll be designing and publishing the research papers. So your research paper, your theory, and your thesis can become a premise for somebody to create a real solution on top of it. I hope we all agree on this part, because, since I'm dealing with academics here, it is very important to set the stage here, that why are we studying design thinking? What is the importance of design thinking for us? You can just do some reactions by thumbs up or anything. So that will give me the assurance that we all are on the right track. Let's be an interactive audience. Thank you, Kirti. Thank you. I just got one thumbs up, so I request, we are good 94 people here. So if you keep on passing reactions, if you don't agree, you can disagree with me. I'll be okay with that, and we can take the discussion in that direction and help you understand that how it can be beneficial to you. But I would request all of you to be more interactive and sharing your thoughts. So what I propose is that there is, of course, a fun in solving a problem, but the real fun and value is in identifying the problem, discovering the problem. And while we will be discussing the design thinking process across our journey of next 5 days, and the whole solutioning, idea generation, and then your patents part, you will finally realize that the real fun is in identify the problem. Because today, in the era of AI, wherein you can very easily, are sitting on good amount of information using various tools, and you can also create solutions very easily. If you're not able to identify the real problem, then it will really, it won't take you anywhere. So I'll take you through the process how to identify the real problems. So this is a 5-step process. I'll just quickly show you what the process is, and then we'll discuss the steps one by one. So let's just stay still here. So the first point, it says empathize. So this is a standard process of 5 steps: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. Even before you empathize, I would like to add one more step before empathizing, is inspiration. Because when we are doing the research, it is very important from where we are getting the inspiration. Like, for example, I am at the empathize stage. I'm trying to learn about my audience, but I don't know what my audience is. Okay. Let's say, for example, I want to solve a problem, but where do I get the inspiration? Because there are plethora, plenty of problems. So, what is something which is very close to my heart? Am I a environment friendly person? And my heart aches when I see pollution related problems, or when I see high AQIs, when I see dirty rivers? Or is it something I want to solve urbanization problems, which all these applications like Zomato, Blinkit, Uber, Ola, so they are all solving the urbanization problems, the problems which are faced by our people living in urban areas. So you have to first, even before empathizing, you need to take that kind of inspiration. I hope while you start writing, before you start writing your research paper, you all take that inspiration, correct? That what am I going to publish? What is the area I'm going to pick up? Am I going to pick up a healthcare area? Am I going to pick up in education area, or within education? What exactly I'm going to talk about? So even before empathizing, we take inspiration because that helps us identify which area we need to venture into. And that's where I feel that a lot of people are struggling when they also know about design thinking. They start thinking about the audience when they don't know who their audience can be. So even before you empathize, you should take the inspiration. And inspiration comes from the heart. It comes from your gut feel with something which is very close to you. So while we are at the empathizing and the define stage, so think design thinking, first and foremost, design thinking is not about designing. We are not designing anything. It's the mindset game. It's the thinking game. So design thinking is a thinking game. So here, when you are a thinking mode in the very initial phase, you keep your mind very divergent. You do not keep your mind very close. Any idea, any thought should be welcome. It can come from anywhere. So, well, while you are sensing the problem or while you're defining the problem, let's say a topic called pollution. So let's take this as a base for our classes that will be basing our discussion primarily around pollution. So while you're dealing with the problem of pollution, you will have multiple ideas in your mind. You can think about how can we make public transport more accessible? How can we make public transport more, say, affordable, more comfortable? So that's one area. You may think about how can we use, fuel efficient vehicles or pollution, non-pollutive vehicles. Like people are, and government is talking a lot about electric vehicles, solar vehicles. So are you going to think in that direction? Or you're going to do something very different? Let's say a carpooling app. They design a carpooling app for office commuters. Or if you are in a situation wherein you are sitting in the policy making department, can you design a policy or multiple policies which can attack pollution problem in different areas? Let's say there was a policy which came out around odd even, odd days, odd cars, even days, even cars. So there can be multiple areas. So our inspiration is that we want to solve the pollution problem. Now we are at the empathize stage, wherein we are trying to understand the problem which is faced by the citizens of, let's say, Delhi NCR. We are talking about in the start. So how can we solve these problems? So that then you'll be, in the divergent mode. What are the reasons? What are the causes which are causing this problem? And then you will start, you know, identifying various options. You will have multiple, you'll be sharing differences of opinion. कि see, ये idea काम नहीं करेगा, ये तो चलेगा ही नहीं. No, this is not a problem. Somebody may come and say pollution is not a problem at all. So you will have differences of opinion. So that's the stage wherein you'll be sharpening your key questions. So you'll create multiple choices. The way we just discussed, you'll start creating multiple choices. And that's what you should be doing in your research papers also. So research paper also works like a funnel. You start broad and then you keep it moving like a funnel, and eventually you have to at the end propose a solution. And then you start incubating ideas. You brainstorm and you create solutions. So that here at this stage, you start converging your mind. Whether I'm going to solve this through policy making, or I'll get into the EV domain, or I'll do something around public transportation. So you'll start ideating and start making decisions. कि अब मुझे ये करना है. Now I'm kind of funneling down my approach. And then you gather your team, you start building one or more ideas. So people who are into the product domain, they start building their prototypes and they start showing to their potential users. So they start their early audience, identifying their early audience of, let's say, 50 people or 100 people. And that's where they start performing the user research. which we do through primary research, and sometimes, we of course we wrap it up with the secondary research. That, but primarily we do the primary research here, wherein we start building one or more ideas, and then we finally test our idea, whether it is a workable solution, will people pay for it, is it really solving the problem. So this is the whole, design thinking process. And since in the last three stages, we are into the convergent thinking, so we are more fact based. In the initial first 2 points, we are at the ideation stage. Our thinking is more idea based. We don't back it up with the facts, we don't back it up with the market information. But from point three onward, we start backing up our options, our opinions based on the facts available. Here we make choices. So this is, a journey starts from problem to reaching the solution mode. So before I jump on to the compartmentalization of thinking, so in today's session, we will just stay with point number one and point number two, wherein we'll be taking some inspirations, empathize, and we'll be defining our key questions. We will talk about ideation, prototype testing from tomorrow onwards. But today we'll just stick to the first 2 points. So before I jump to the compartmentalization of thinking, uh, I'll just pause for a minute and happy to take any thoughts and questions so far. You can just raise your hand and speak up. And you can just, since we are discussing from the academia perspective, you can also propose your thoughts that is it uh, really going to be helpful from your perspective. Let's try to be an interactive audience. It's okay if you don't want to open your camera, you can just unmute yourself. Let's not be shy. Let's be, because I believe you all are coming from the background. Yeah, Katie, please go ahead. You can unmute yourself and speak up.
Yeah. Ma'am, there are initiatives which the government may take up in order to purify the environment, or there are certain initiatives which have been taken up by the government near Ashok Vihar area for balancing the environment, like hair humidifiers, or
Mm-hmm.
in order to purify the air. These are some of the initiatives which the government have taken. So likewise, we need to identify what extra add-on that we can take up, what extra initiative that we can take up that is more or less eco-friendly, and ultimately if it's not harming the environment. So that
Right.
is one of the good initiative which the government have taken in that particular area. Like everyone
Exactly.
cannot afford air purifiers at their place, and even the
Hmm.
people from lower background needs to have fresh air. So that is a good call which they have taken up.
Absolutely, absolutely. So like now, since I'm taking your thought here, government has come up with this kind of a plan. So they have given you some sort of inspiration that you can do it at a very large scale. You can do the purifiers at the city level. So as corporates or R&Ds, you can get into designing of these kind of solutions, because government can only throw the ideas. Like for example, I work with FITT, and we work with a lot of corporates. So like I work with Microsoft. So what they do is, initially they had to do a lot of philanthropic activities, and they used to invest their time, their 2% of the profit in the philanthropic activities. Now there is a policy thought where that you can invest in startups which are making impact in the society. So that is how we are getting multiple partnerships from Boeing. We have partnerships from Kotak. We have from Microsoft. They are also looking to invest in these kind of ideas which are related to agriculture, which are related to sustainability. So we, I mean, there are funds available. So government is can give you the inspiration to work in certain domains. Now it is up to you that we have to go back, do our R&D together, and bring out the solutions. So the point you just say, somebody can take up the inspiration from this idea and propose a solution and get a patent out of it. Anybody else would like to add here?
Like, ma'am, there is one more thing. Yesterday only I visited Bharat Darshan Park, and in that particular
Mm-hmm.
area, they have installed solar panels, solar systems, and they have created everything out of waste. So that is
Correct.
also one of the good call. And
Mm-hmm.
there are things which I'm seeing on Instagram these days. Like people are starting up with the startups or ventures. Like you are having old clothes, old stuffs at your places, so you can send your clothes, shoes to that particular person, and they'll create something new out of that.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely. So there are a lot of startups working around this. So in
uh,
fact, yes, yeah, we have a startup here in FITT as well who is working from waste to something they call it. So these are the areas, really open. And so I just wanted to open this floor and understand that, Kitty, we can start from you, that how academicians can get into this domain. I will, of course, help you, but you tell me that how can you make the contribution in this domain when it comes to designing the solutions?
see, first of all, creative mindset needs to be there, and some sort of passion and motivation needs to be there in the individual mindset. If I'm motivated, if I'm creative, definitely 100 people will come to support me, right? So I need to identify that, yes, what is my forte and how I can motivate the people, right? So
Yes.
these days we are seeing Trisha's case in the news channels, right? Initially nobody is supporting, but right now everybody is supporting their family members.
Hmm.
So some sort of
Right.
kick or start needs to be there from our end. If we are having some creative mindset, definitely other people will come and motivate us. So
Absolutely.
we need
Absolutely.
to think, if we are
And
planning to start up with any venture, we need to identify that, yes, how I need to start, what would be the creativity which I can search out. Like crochet, people are starting up with the crochet business. Earlier, our
very good.
grandmothers
Yeah.
and mothers used to create flowers or sweaters out of that. But these days, young girls, Gen Zs, are creating or selling crochet, you can say,
Yes.
evil eyes
This
or
is our lost
keyrings.
treasure. So yes, this is going to be our lost treasure. So we need to kind of retain it. And that's a very good example. I was taking one session in one of the colleges, and one of the student presented his idea that he wants to create a marketplace for the handicrafts.
Uh-huh.
So how good it will be. So I
These
think
days,
as
Gen Zs are
academics, it's
pretty much
very
excited.
yes. So it is very important as academics, it is very important for us that, we kind of create a partnership together with our students and create something together with them. And, this will really create a very good engine for the incubation centers and the innovation councils. Let's just go back to what we were discussing. So now just have a look at this slide. So what I've done is I have compartmentalized the thinking here. So in the first category, we are exploring the problem. We are not ideating the solution. So when we are talking about the pollution problem, we are not, although we did discuss certain options, but we should not be discussing about the solutions here. We should just stay with the problem. What is causing more pollution? Is it the more number of vehicles on the road, or Is it more air conditioners in the houses? What is it which is, or deforestation, people not planting more trees and cutting more trees? So we need to stick with that area. What is the key reason of pollution or landfills? So first we need to get in, and it's the most toughest part of the whole process. People take it very lightly. People actually, I have worked with multiple product creators, and especially when I'm working with the technical teams, they don't even think about it because they're too much into creating solutions that they don't know what problem they're working on. But once you have worked on the real problem identification, solution is very easy to create. Trust me on that. So we take inspiration, we don't ideate. At the third point, we generate the solution, we do ideation, but we don't judge. We just stick here in terms of generating the solution. We do a lot of ideation here. And in the final category of 4 and 5, we design the solution. Here we have taken the final decision, no gut feel, completely fact based, and we are into the implementation mindset. So from inspiration to ideation to implementation, that's where our design thinking process goes on. So just few points, what really is the problem? What really matters to you will actually derive the problem. For example, I took the example of pollution. It may not be, people may, somebody facing this problem, but it might not be mattering to him. So they will not think about it. So it should be really be mattering to you, then only it will actually be bothering you. It must have bothered you really deep inside, then only you want to work on it. I hope you all agree. Most products are born out of real issues. If I'm facing it, then others would also be suffering from it. So let's do something about it. So whenever somebody gets that this is a problem, like for example, Zomato. So Dipinder Goyal, who is the founder of Zomato, he was after his graduation, he was working in Bain and Company. And that time, during the lunch hour, he could see a lot of his colleagues making random calls to restaurants here and there and ordering food. And the food was not coming on time. And there were real issues around that time. And they didn't even know, what food options are available nearby. So what he did, so that time it was called Food eBay. It was called Food eBay. What he did, he collected the hard copy of all the menu cards nearby his office and he uploaded it onto a website so that people could see the collection of restaurants nearby, scan their menus, and order the food. So there was no Zomato app, just a very simple raw HTML website with the names of the restaurants nearby, collection of their PDF menus, and the phone number of the restaurant. That's it. Because he was just solving the problem of availability of restaurants nearby and an option to call and book lunch. That's it. So this problem, when he saw that his colleagues were facing, he did it and became a hit. So then he introduced it, then people in other offices started using it, and now it became Zomato. So that's how, when people encounter their problem by themselves or within the situation they are or around them, that's how they think that, this is bothering me, this is bothering two of my friends or 10 of my friends or my family. Let's do something about it. That's how Practo was born. Most of the products, that's how Airbnb was born. So we think like a user. So here the person who is working on the problem, they think like the user. If I would have been at this place, how would I have felt? can I do something about it? Right? So that's how people identify the problems and they think like user. So before getting it, so now I'll be doing a very quick, activity wherein I'll be just showing a problem statement with you, and I'll be sharing a technique with you, which we call it customer journey map or user journey map, you call it, or I call it sometimes situations journey map. So CJM, UJM, SJM, you can call it. So what we do in this case is, while we are figuring out and going deep in terms of understanding the problem, we break the problem into three zones. And as a user, we see what are the activities user was performing pre, during that journey, and post that journey. Okay. And then even the smallest to smallest of activities, we take a note. So let's discuss standing in a queue at a grocery store. It's a problem. Forget about Blinkit or Grofers for now. We all go and buy groceries and we all stand in queue at the grocery store. So what is the journey while we go out for buying grocery? What is the journey we take care of? So right now we are not thinking about designing the solution at all. We are just figuring out why there is a queue at the grocery store. So to answer the question why, we will figure out the pre-journey, during journey, and post-journey. Probably we can do a Mentimeter. Let me just see. You can scan the code. You can scan this code and probably start answering the second question. So you can just scan this code and I can show you the questions. So I think we'll have a cloud of responses here. I hope you all are scanning this code.
मैम ये कोड स्कैन कैसे होगा? Not able to
You
scan
can
this
use
code.
Paytm app. You can use Paytm app to scan it.
But ma'am, I don't have Paytm app in my phone.
You can use camera also. So this is the question I want you guys to answer. Activities before grocery purchase. I hope you guys got this question after you scanned the code. I think 12 people have scanned the code. You can start responding on this question. Planning, very good. Just write the activities before grocery purchase. What's your thought process? what you all make a list of the items. Very good. Listing, planning. Yes. Budgeting. Very good. Listing of required items. Very good. Identify store. That's a good point. Make a list. Yes. Time. We look for when to go out for buying, right? Planning, analysis, budgeting. Very good. Very good. Searching the item. So I'll just categorize the searching the item point in terms of like listing part only. Because search you will perform while you will be inside the store. Prioritize items, need, mode of transport. Mode of transport is a good point. Yes. Okay. Let's move. Discount offers we'll see while we are in the store. But yes, that's the point we keep in mind. Very good. Payment methods we'll see when we are at the store. Now I want you to answer these questions. What are the activities you perform while you are purchasing the groceries? Now you have entered the grocery store. What all you do the moment you enter the grocery store? Check discount. So we start from taking out the cart. So let's take a note of each and every activity we perform. We reach there, we take out the cart, identify areas, sections, right? And then we start identifying the shelves of different categories. Compare price, very good. Check discount. Look for items listed. So you open your list and you start identifying where your sections are, where your items are. Very good.
Hello.
Planning, yes. So I would say that planning you might have primarily done while pre-behavior. Pick items based on needs. Very good. Now you have started docking your items into your cart. Visiting the areas first. Store layout. Yes. So if you're going for the first time, you don't know the layout. You try to see where the groceries, where are the sauces, where are the cold drinks, where are the snacks. Comparing brands.
The activity during the grocery purchase. Activity बोलिए मैंने के लिए.
We can take this to three more responses, and we can go on to.
क्या क्या भाई मेरे चार्जिंग मत निकालिए. नहीं तेरा नहीं निकाल रही उतना तो. हाँ हाँ चार्जिंग मत निकाल.
Sorry,
बाकी
please,
मेरे
can you
लैपटॉप तो
please
लगाएंगे.
mute yourself? Can you please
क्योंकि ना
mute
मेरा
yourself?
चार्ज नहीं है ना. मेरे शक्ल से मत क्यों लग रहा है. Hello.
Thomas, can you please help me? Yeah, please go ahead. Who is it?
Sorry.
Ingredients checking. Yes, we also check the ingredients. Observing display promotions. Yes. So let's go on. Let's take two, three more responses. We just have 9. Request you to please mute yourself. Analyze quantity of purchase. Okay. So let's move to the final category. What are the activities you perform after you're done with the grocery purchase? So in this last section, I did not get the responses like after you have dogged in all your items in the cart, you take the cart to the billing desk, you make payment. And that's the time, you start start identifying the mode of payment. Whether you're going to pay through cash or you're going to use the cards Or do you have any coupons available? And you also bargain. So these are the activities we do while we are at the grocery store. Right? Now tell me, what are the activities you do after you're done with your grocery purchase? Now you are moving out from the billing area with all the packets in your hand. Identify payment mode. So I would have kept it in the previous one, but it's okay. Identify payment mode, buy bag or not. Yeah. Carry grocery home. So you also need to check whether which transport mode you'll be using, how to carry delicate, fragile items. Organize grocery. Yes. Look, nothing is missed. Yeah. So you check your item, you map from your list whether you have not missed anything. Very good. Identify coupons available. We have a good audience of more than 90 people, and I can see just 4 people responding. I request all of you to be maybe just post one response. It will be all for your benefit. Let's try to make it more and more interactive. I'm sure we all learn by doing. Let's make it ABL, activity based learning. Shortlist items. Remove extra baggages. Return less discount item. Yeah. Checking the receipt. It's a very good point. Dating grocery list, shortlist item. Let's sharing feedback. Very good point. Sharing feedback. Comparing the bill and item. Yes, that we all do. Yeah. Complain in if any. That's a new point. Cataloging. Yeah. 25 people have scanned the QR code and I'm getting response from only 8 people. So others, please go ahead. Payment. Make sure card collected. That's a very good point. Make sure card collected. See, we have to get into that kind of a thinking mode. An observation mode, I would rather say. So while thinking, we try to imagine something extra. You have to just share your observation points. That's it. Return card, place it. Yeah. Because all the points right now which you all are mentioning that really will help us while we'll be doing the generate solution activity tomorrow. So each and every point which you are writing here will really help us tomorrow when we'll be at the third category point, generating solution. Count the items. We'll spend just 1 more minute here because I want to take maximum of your inputs on at this stage. Carry goes for you. I'll show you my response sheet as well. Don't worry, but you try to keep putting your points here. So we'll see how good all have been in terms of making good observations. Okay. So you have the code, you can keep responding. I'll keep getting my responses. I hope the standing in queue at a grocery store screen is visible. If you say yes or no. Komal, is the right screen visible standing in queue at a grocery store?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you. So now I will show you the map which I have created. I think it covers most of the points which you kind of responded. I might have added one or two here and there. So before we purchase grocery, let's say it's a situation, grocery finished in midweek. We didn't plan. Planning was a good point. Guest came over suddenly. Problem that somebody has to take kids along. No time to make list. So these are the situations people are into before they go for buying the grocery. So what happened when you are at the grocery store? We buy from the local vendor nearby. You go to mall, take a cart, keep docking in items. Once done, we move towards the billing desk, and then we perform all those activities we just said that you we look for the sections, we identify, we look at the store layout. So all those activities we do before we dock the item. We compare price, we look at the ingredients, we compare the brands, we compare the options, and then we reach at the billing desk, and then we have to stand in a queue to pay bills. So what happens while we sometimes, we add and subtract items from the shopping cart. In case of cash, we wait for the change. We many a times we bargain. Sometimes we forget the pin of the card which we are using. Now, after purchase, all the points were well taken by all of you. We dock the items back into the car, or we identify which mode of transport we'll be using, or we'll be going walking, or we'll be going by our own vehicle, or we'll be hiring a vehicle, or we will be using the public transport, and we carry heavy bags back at home, and then we arrange them in the pantry. So it looks like a very logical workflow of the situation, of the activities performed by the user or the stakeholders involved in this process. We can also, during the purchase, also write the activities performed by the store staff. Like you have people guiding you in the store, you have people working at the billing desk, so dealing with their systems, printing the bill. Sometimes systems go down, they hang, all those things happen. So we are now into that observation mode that all these things happen. Now, if you look at the pointers which are red underlined, they would tell you the points of frustration. Spend 2 minutes here and just have a look on the points, especially which are contributing well towards the standing in long queue at a grocery store. So, for example, you have not planned for the grocery, you tend to add items, subtract items, You're many a times confused. So spend more time at the billing desk. In case of cash, change नहीं होता है, we bargain. People forget the pin. They use multiple cards. Amex not working, HSBC card not working. So you tend to keep giving different type of cards. All these points, not all of them will give you the points of frustration. There will be very minute areas you need to identify which will be giving you the points of frustration. Out of them, let's sharpen our key questions. Why one has to stand in long queues? To wait for change, forget PIN, you keep adding or removing the item. Store IT system is not efficient to take the load. It happens a lot of times. So when I told you that, we have to look at from all stakeholders' perspective. While you are at the store, you are not the only ones who are at the store. You have your co-buyers who may be causing these kind of frustrations. You may be having the store staff who can also help leading to that frustration. IT system not working, उनका system billing system ही काम नहीं कर रहा है. They're not able to print the bill. They're not using the advanced POS machines which can accept multiple type of cards. Merchant system is not efficient. So you many a times make multiple visits because you're not aware of the options. So that adds to the crowding. Many a time people come to exchange and return items. Exchange change can happen due to defective items delivered, or you are confused about your options. So this all helps you lead to a point that problem which you are trying to discover is a genuine problem. But because if you're not able to identify the multiple pain points in that process, you will not be able to identify whether it is the right fit of innovation or not. I actually wanted to discuss with you the right fit of innovation also. So far, I'll just take a pause for 2-3 minutes here and just wanted to open the floor for discussion, thoughts, any questions so far you have. Happy to take questions, thoughts, feedback, anything you have. I know it would be a load of information for you so far, but let's discuss. You can just take 2-3 minutes. That's okay. I mean, I know you may not be just wanting to jump to your thoughts.
हाँ. अट्ठाईस थर्सडे छुट्टी है, फ्राइडे मीटिंग है. अभी
Dr.
तक तो यही है.
Joseph,
हाँ 28 ही है.
please mute yourself. Sorry, Dr. Joseph. I would like to have the next 10 minutes for the open forum, and then I have few things to discuss in detail. Let's restart at 3:25. You can take your time, 2-3 minutes. So let's restart. Anyone wants to go? No one wants to go, not even a single person. Okay, let me ask you a question. What would be a better way to charge your phone when there is no electricity? You are in a zone where you don't have any access to electricity and your phone is gone. So how will you charge it? Come on. I think we are good, intelligent audience here.
वहीं दे दिया मैंने सर अभी दे रहा हूँ
Vivekanand ji, you want to say something? You want to say something? Okay, fine. Friends, let's go. I mean, it's a it's already a solved problem, I would say. And I think most of us use it as well. No one wants to go. Shall I just do a Mentimeter? Or I hope will that be okay? Let me just give you the Mentimeter. You can post your answer there. Or maybe you can use chat box you can use. If you don't want to unmute yourself, you can use chat box. I hope you're enjoying the session, and I hope I'm not boring you enough. Please use the chat box option to share your responses. How will you handle the situation if there is no electricity and your phone is dying? Have we not used power bank? How about power banks? At least yes, no reactions. Thank you, Ravleen. Great. So let me take you. I request all of you to be a little more interactive. Otherwise, it for next 5 days it will become a little boring for all of us. So I know it's the first day, day one. That's okay. But I request all of you to be a little more interactive. So I'll try to be using more of Mentimeter because I could see some of you responding there. But request if you can just unmute yourselves and post your responses in the chat box. So I'll give you 4 points which would help you understand that what makes a problem big enough to solve. Because every problem is not sometimes solvable, and many a times it is not even worth solving. So what makes it to be a big enough so that you invest your energy, you invest your resources, you invest your money, you invest your time on it? First is intensity. How severe is a problem? How severe is a problem? Is it just a simple annoyance? For example, you went to a coffee shop and coffee machine breaks down. That's a pain. But if I give you another situation, a surgeon is performing a surgery and one of the medical device falls down from his or her hand. Don't you think the second situation is more severe because it's life threatening? So while looking at a problem, you need to see how intense it is. Because once you will be able to establish that this is actually a severe problem. Like, for example, we have started from the start of our session, we have been discussing the problem of pollution. So for few of us, it may not be that intensive. Ki, theek hai, it's okay. We've been living in metro cities. It has been a problem. But the other may think that, if we don't deal with this problem right now, it will be a really problematic situation for the generations to come. So that's how we judge the intensity and severity of the problem. Frequency. How frequently one is facing this problem? Like the transportation problem, moving from point A to point B. We all go for work. So from Monday to Friday or Saturday, we need some sort of transportation to move from point A to B. So that's a problem which occurs 5 times or 6 times or at least 4 times in our week. And if we talk about again our previous example of pollution, although Delhi NCR is considered to be a polluted city, but that problem's frequency increases during the month of November and December. So we tend to use more air purifiers in those months. People buy more air purifiers in those months. We need to judge the frequency of the problem, how frequent it is going to occur. And that's how, all these companies, they judge their daily active users or monthly active users or yearly active users. So you have to judge how frequently your potential users are going to face this problem. Scale. Is it just affecting me or just my family or a group of friends here and there? Or is it really affecting people at scale? Then only you will be able to have all the resources directed towards you. I'll also be discussing the market research concepts with you, and wherein we'll be discussing, about the scale of the market, wherein we'll be discussing TAM, SAM, SOM.
FDP.
Please mute yourself.
सब नहीं करा था मेरे पास गया मैंने भी अभी करा है मैंने तो ज्वाइन 2 बजे से मतलब भेजूँ आप
Ma'am, please mute yourself. Komal, can you please help?
है तो नहीं अच्छा
Dipali ji, can you please mute yourself? Dipali ji, can you please mute yourself? I request all of you to please keep yourselves mute while I'm taking the session. When I'll open the forum, please unmute. Thank you. And then we see whether people will be willing to pay for it or not. So if you're able to take care of these 4 points, at least you will be able to reach a conclusion that this is a problem area, this is a concept on which I can invest myself and my resources and be able to create something worthwhile out of it. So this is a 2x2 grid, which helps us understand where actually design thinking belongs. So on one axis, we have problem, on the other, we have solution. So if you know the problem and if you also know the solution, we do lean thinking, standardization. So this is applied mostly in case of when we are kind of improvising some systems in the manufacturing setup. In all these areas, lean thinking is involved. When you don't know the problem, but you have a solution in your hand. Like, for example, when I was developing this solution called Face Express. So first I'll talk about Face Express. Face Express is a face recognition based check-in and check-out solution for the hotels, wherein you go, you register yourself, you go give all your details before you reach to that hotel for stay. And when you reach, you just show your face in a kiosk kind of a system near the reception, and it will match all your details, and the key card will come out. So it will just take, so that 25 minutes process will go down to 25 seconds. So that's Face Express. So these check-in and check-out, both situations are taken care by Space Express. So this is a solution very well running in Europe and sold by NEC. So when I was working on this solution and I was selling the solution to Leela Ambience Gurgaon, it was somewhere in the February 2020. And we were just in the process of doing the right installation in March, April, and COVID hit. So I had the solution in front of me, but the hotel authorities came and said that we want a complete contactless solution. We don't want our travelers to touch anything. They wanted the complete touchless solution. So was a new problem which we encountered. We had the solution in hand, but we encountered a new problem. So what we did, we removed the kiosk from there and we asked them to take care of the pre-process, but the registration details matching link we gave the users on their phone. So they entered, just show their face on the link which was sent by the reception, and the reception was just handing over the key. No touch, nothing. So we made that, so it's called pivoting. We pivoted our already known solution. So that's where we applied critical thinking. When you know the solution, when you know the problem, sorry, but you don't know the solution, that's where the innovation happens. And that's where you apply lateral thinking. For example, if I talk about the cases like Uber, so we all know there is a problem of transportation. People struggle in the public transport. People have problem in commuting from point A to B. So the problem was known, but we didn't know how to effectively solve this problem of day-to-day commute. And that's where these solutions like Uber, Ola came in. They applied lateral thinking. But where you don't know the problem and you don't even know what solution will help solve this problem, you apply design thinking. And that's where you go into the discovery plus innovation mode. And since in this FDP, we'll be spending a lot of time on patents. So your novelty of idea will really help in securing the patents. While people apply for patents, I've seen they give a good weightage if the problem is novel and the solution is also novel. So there's a high weightage towards novelty. So if you apply the design thinking mindset, that will be really, really helpful to you. So we can do a quick activity, but before that, we can take again open the floor. I know you've not been interacting too much, but still, I would like to take questions because we just discussed this quadrant. We discussed the how can you identify a big problem to solve. So I'm hoping that there will be at least 2, 3 questions here. So let's go ahead. I request you to absorb all this while we are in the discussion mode and ask questions.
Hi, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Yeah, yeah, Ravni, please go ahead.
Ma'am, if you don't mind, can you again give some examples regarding all four quadrants?
Yes, absolutely. I can give examples for all the 4 quadrants. Yeah, let me just display that slide. Okay, so let's start from the lean thinking box because that's where we start. So that's here we do standardization. So objective here is optimization. So the current of processes are there and we know the problem. So I think a very good example would be Toyota, wherein we introduce the processes in a manner which eliminate waste. We are able to cut the cost, bring operational efficiency. We do a lot of automation. So that's how we do lean thinking, wherein our key focus is on the standardization. Now we have done solved the problem. Now how to scale it up. So that's how we get into the lean thinking. We keep our thinking very lean. If you go into the second quadrant of critical thinking, I just gave you the example of Face Express. I can give you one more example. So you have a product in hand, you identify other areas which can help, discover new needs basically. Very good example is Google Chrome. So roughly around 2005-6, when there was, Internet Explorer was there, Mozilla Firefox was going to be launched. Sundar Pichai did not discover a new problem. Did not discover a new solution, sorry. So he looked at how can I make the whole experience better. So what he did, he merged the address and search bar. Browser performance was very strong. He added in tools like Google Translate, security, password management. So you don't have to punch in your passwords again and again. You could save your password. Minimalistic UI. So if you look at IE and versus Google Chrome, you can see how critically it has helped to solve the problem. Lateral thinking, wherein you know the problem, but you don't know the solution. Like, for example, in the case of this Blinkit example, wherein they wanted to solve the standing in long queues, Amazon came with an idea of called Amazon Go. So I know this is not operation. I think they have closed their last store in February 2026. But that was an innovation towards a problem which was known that people feel frustrated standing in queues. Why not create manless stores wherein just people walk in, take their products and add it into their cart and just move on. I'll show you a quick video of Amazon Go so you'll understand how they applied lateral thinking. And then design thinking happens when you don't know. You're working on a clean slate. That's where actual creativity comes. So very good example is Facebook. So if you would have seen the movie called Social Network, Zuckerberg was creating a product for Harvard which was called Face Match, wherein they were giving ratings to, the uh, female students there who is good looking or not. And, the other students were giving rating to those girls. He said people find it interesting because they knew those girls. They knew who they rated for the ones who they knew. So he identified a need that people want to know more about the people they know. They don't care about the strangers. And that is why, and they wanted to, they people want to know what they are doing, where they're currently located, and a platform wherein they can upload their information by themselves. They can ask people to connect, and it is up to the other person whether they want to connect with them or not. So, if you watch this movie, it's about Mark Zuckerberg. There's a scene. I have a video of that. Let me show you that video quickly. You will understand how people discover the problems. So for Netflix also. So, people used to go to rent DVDs that time. So they identified that, people feel frustrated, going to the DVD store, taking it on rent and then returning it. So they created on-demand DVD rentals system, which got upgraded to on-demand video streaming and then creating the original content. So that's how, Netflix applied the design thinking mindset. Let me show you the Amazon Go video and also the uh, Facebook video. So you'll understand what I'm talking about. Just bear with me for 1 or 2 minutes. Let me take out that video. I hope my screen is visible. Say yes or
Yes,
no.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am, it's
Oh,
visible.
Yes, it's visible.
and you can hear the audio as well of the video, right?
No, ma'am, audio is not audible.
Let me show it. The was audio audible? Komal, was audio audible?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am, it's not audible.
No, ma'am. It is not audible.
Yes.
Komal, if I give you the link of YouTube, will you be able to share your screen? I don't know, maybe some setting issues might. Oh, maybe, oh, I got it.
Okay,
I have
ma'am.
included, sir. I hope now it will work. I have included the sound button. And just say yes if you're if it's audible.
Advanced machine learning, computer vision, and AI into the
Is it okay?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's okay.
Great. Great. Great.
4 years ago, we started to wonder, what would shopping look like if you could walk into a store, grab what you want, and just go? What if we could weave the most advanced machine learning, computer vision, and AI into the very fabric of a store so you never have to wait in line? No lines, no checkouts, no registers. Welcome to Amazon Go. Use the Amazon Go app to enter. Then put away your phone and start shopping. It's really that simple. Take whatever you like. Anything you pick up is automatically added to your virtual cart. If you change your mind about that cupcake, just put it back. Our technology will update your virtual cart automatically. So, how does it work? We used computer vision, deep learning algorithms, and sensor fusion, much like you'd find in self-driving cars. We call it Just Walk Out technology. Once you've got everything you want, you can just go. When you leave, our Just Walk Out technology adds up your virtual cart and charges your Amazon account. Your receipt is sent straight to the app, and you can keep going. Amazon Go. No lines, no checkout. No, seriously.
So, Ravleen and others, this was the Amazon Go, wherein the problem was known and they, worked out a very different solution, new solution to solve the same problem. Let me now show you that Facebook video and we'll see how people think about the new cases. I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
Not audible, ma'am.
Or not audible. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
People came to Face Smash in a stampede, right? Yeah. But it wasn't because they saw pictures of hot girls.
Is it okay? Can you hear the
Yes,
volume,
ma'am.
audio? Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
So you can go anywhere on the internet and see
It's-
pictures of hot girls. It's because they saw pictures of girls that they knew. People want to go on the internet and check out their friends, so why not build a website that offers that? Friends, pictures, profiles, whatever you can visit, browse around. Maybe it's someone you just met at a party. But I'm not talking about a dating site. I'm talking about taking the entire social experience of college and putting it online.
I can't feel my legs.
I know. I'm totally psyched about this too, but Wardo,
Yeah.
It would be exclusive.
you would have to know the people on the site to get past your own page, like getting punched.
Well, that's good.
Wardo, it's like a final club, except we're the president.
I told him I thought it sounded great. It was a great idea. There was nothing to hack. People were going to provide their own pictures, their own information, and people had the ability to invite or not invite their friends to join. See, in a world where social structure was everything, that was the thing. It was a big project, and he was going to have to write tens of thousands.
So that's how, they both worked on this idea that, people are curious about to know more about the people they know. It's not a dating website. It's the social need of the people. So we all have, learned the Maslow's hierarchy. So first two needs are the basic safety needs. And then the second category of need is the socializing needs. And, this idea was a big hit. And till date, we all use Meta products, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram. So that's how, people think about, discover the problems, and they start working on their ideas. So problem is discovery is very important before you jump on to the conclusion of designing the solution. So that was true for your research papers also. When you write research papers, try to identify the novel areas, problems which are unknown, solutions which do not exist or they exist so people don't know about. So that will really help you, get the patents right. So we are almost towards the end. Just 2-3 minutes left. If you have any questions, thoughts, I'll be happy to take up or we'll wrap it up. And we'll meet tomorrow. So before we for any questions, I would like to work on just give you a short assignment. Uh, why don't you create a user journey map for carpooling app for a carpooling situation? So you don't need to kind of submit your assignments. Maybe you can just create not a very sophisticated assignment. Maybe just do a Word doc, write 5 to 6 points in each category before travel, during travel, and after travel, or maybe any unique idea you want to just go for that. Okay. Go ahead. Any thoughts, feedback, questions? Over to you, Komal. No questions, no thoughts. So we can wrap it up now. Komal, over to you now for the concluding remarks for today's session.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an insightful session and for so much patience. I hope all the participants have learned a lot. Is there any questions from you participants? So I don't think so anyone has any queries. So ma'am, thank you so much. So we will
Thank you,
meet
sir. Have a
tomorrow.
great day.
Thank you so
Tomorrow.
much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.